Hello YouTube, Evergreen Stater. Well, a lot of stuff's been on my mind lately, and particularly, I'm doing this YouTube video because I felt kind of encouraged by my professor to do it. He didn't tell me to do it, but one of his lectures kind of encouraged me to. I wanted to talk about the high-speed rail and how disturbingly inadequate it is, or the lack of it that we have here in the United States of America. I mean, personally, I look at other places like Japan, China, Taiwan, South Korea, places in Europe are trying this stuff. France has Transa Confites, or TGV, as many of you might know it. You know, why don't we have this in the US? Come on, we built this freaking highway system under Eisenhower. Why didn't we build a high speed rail system? And yes, there are a lot of people who will claim, man, that's just socialism stuff. Let me tell you something. Under the Eisenhower years, we had that massive highway system built. That is built on tax dollars. That comes from the government. And it was used to transport military. Now cars drive over it. Let me tell you, why not have it? And there's people who are saying, well, the US is not that densely packed like Japan or South Korea. I do not care. We should do it. And personally, I would like to see it done. And, maybe this would contribute to the fifth Kondratiev wave that, some people are talking about, that my professor talked about. He said that the Kondratiev wave is going to consist of alternative energy, number one. It's going to consist of high-speed rail, like that's supposed to be it, part of it. And particularly the high-speed rail, I see it as not, it needs to be done on a national scale. Or even better, do what Japan does. They've got all these private rail corporations like, Kintetsu and other things. It's like, why aren't we doing this more here? What is the matter? And there are people who are saying, well, we love our cars here. We love our freedom. Japan produces so many cars. And they're doing it. What? We should do this. Maybe this would boost our economy up more. And, there are people who probably want to do it, but, we got people who are afraid. The car companies are afraid because, people are using high-speed rail. They're going to use their cars less. And, that would probably scare oil companies too, because the less of their oil you use, the less profits they get. You got two sources. You got that car company, who's afraid. In fact, there's a history of this stuff. I think it was either Ford or GM, I don't know who, but one of them decided they were going to buy up all the rail cars or the street cars and rip out the rail. Why? Because it was cutting into their stinking profits. That's why. People were scared. I'm thinking probably the auto companies might want to pay people not to do that, make it hard to do high-speed rail. Or maybe the oil companies don't want it because, it'll cut into their profits, Or even the airline, or even the or the airline companies would be scared because, all these lobbyists are like, here, we're gonna pay, this money. Don't do high-speed rail. Crap. Maybe that's, people, it's too stinking easy to pay off politicians. And, maybe that's part of why stuff doesn't get done. Maybe that's why. I was talking to somebody who lived in Denmark, and from what I've been told, you know, people will do this wind energy and alternative energy, and nothing will stop them because you don't have the oil companies tell them don't do it. You don't have the oil companies trying to pay off politicians in that part of the world. Unfortunately, I think we do here. I think it is no coincidence that the electric car will probably never take hold here. because back in the 90s or so, you had the nickel metal hydride battery. Well, and guess what? It would probably be the best battery for an electric car. It would probably be more efficient, probably better horsepower, probably much better for the electric car in general. And guess what? An oil company decided they wanted to buy shares in the company that was I think it was Ovonix or something that made the battery, and I think it was Texaco that was the oil company that was buying the shares. Well, eventually they bought the patents to the nickel metal hydride battery, and now they just got rid of the patent. What does that say? Oil company got scared. Oh, they're scared because it's going to cut into their profits. I do not care. If you are scared, it will cut into your profits. I do not care. That's all I gotta say about that. Severin Stater, you guys have a great day.